it's actually a really interesting topic because...
I think she's amazing.
One story that really caught my attention this week.
My story relates to a particular TV.
It's going to take away a lot of jobs.
Week in Review.
It is already 3:50. I was just saying to my guests off air that, gosh, the time really does fly by. The show does fly by during this segment. Week in Review, reflecting upon the stories of the week. Big thanks to our resident technology and social media expert. He's also the CEO of Rocket, James Erskine. You can get more details on James Erskine on X and also on Blue Sky. And big thanks to Dr. Tej Samani, CEO and founder of Performance Learning, both for staying with me. More details on Tej on social media. It's his name, Tej Samani. So let's go to the next story. This one had all three of us talking off air, so we really got to delve into it, Tej. It's a conversation that many are having ever since the emergence, but now people would say the prevalence of AI. Give us context here.
So there's been a lot of, as we've all, ChatGPT's now become the norm for us. It's the new Google for us with everyone's phone. So I think there's been a lot of discussion around, are we actually aware of what we're building? And I'm guilty of this. We're building AI in schools, and it's something that me and my team have really taken a good look at. That just the growth in which AI is being built versus our ability to cope when we finally reach this state of super intelligence, and are we going to get to a point in history very quickly? Because the predictions now are sort of AGI, artificial general intelligence, within the next 2 years, which is nothing. Of should we have? And this has been the big debate, that if we're looking at some arguments here and are saying, well, actually it's only going to create a 10 to 30% risk in unemployment, and this argument is actually going to take a 90%. 90%.
And this is coming from Dr. Roman Yampolsky. Give us more details of who this is.
Yes, so he's been, he is one of the leading experts on safety and ethics in AI, and it's your sort of wake-up moment, and often these are the individuals that we don't listen to. And I'm not saying I think AI is going to be a leveler. I think it's got huge, immense potential, especially in education, especially in healthcare. But when we're looking at the potential of a technology that could create up to 90% global unemployment within the next 20 years, surely we should take a minute and go,
what's happening?
Should we?
Well, it also comes at a time when the Nobel Prize-winning British professor Geoffrey Hinton, he's always kind of regarded really as the godfather of AI. He said he has few regrets after helping introduce AI to the world, even though what he's created will put millions out of work. He said in an interview with Financial Times, what's actually going to happen is rich people are going to use AI to replace workers. It's going to create massive unemployment and a huge rise in profits. It will make a few people much richer and most people poorer. What's your takes, James, on this?
It's an interesting one. I do think there are some issues with AI that are yet to be addressed. Some of it is around artistic license and copyright. So the stuff that AI ingests, I'm not sure whether the creators of that, whether that be musicians, whether that be journalists, are being rewarded. I also don't think we as a society have become clever enough at recognising what is AI. There were some stories last week about an AI journalist pitching some very well-known magazines and newspapers, and some of those articles being run. And that a human being had never actually come into contact with the articles. So it's among us, it's prevalent. I also think what we are starting to see is conversations around a backlash to AI. I'd love to know how quickly after Coca-Cola launched we saw Diet Coke. I know everybody goes in and now buys organic food. And I think there will soon be a backlash where people want to see stuff that's created by humans. And I really do believe that. There's an organisation called Books by People that are already working with publishers to say this book was created by a real person. On the workforce, which is around where this debate is, I think it's interesting. We have entry-level jobs in our business, in our advertising and marketing business, where actually a lot of it is reporting. A lot of it is taking data. A lot of it is... What that means is that can all be done very quickly by AI. Still needs a human filter. So what does that entry-level job person do? Well, that entry-level job person, and I can give her a name, but I won't embarrass her.
Sure.
She is now doing more creative stuff.
Okay.
She's coming up with creative ideas. She's coming up with things that perhaps an entry-level job would not get to do. She's still monitoring the data, but the AI is doing it all for her. So her quality of life is actually enhanced because the boring checking data, checking spreadsheets, lots of that is done. Can you replicate that across every business? Probably not. It's going to be challenging.
Time is against us, and I know there's more. Give me your final point.
Final
Tej.
thoughts. I think never in history have we created anything we cannot control. We are creating and on the verge of creating something of super intelligence that we may never be able to control. And that's the question. Should we?
Unless, of course, as some people say, you just turn off the switch.
Yeah.
Right. We need to go to the final story because of time. You wanted to talk about this, James. You've actually come on air to discuss how using this particular weight loss drug has helped you in your health journey. Ozempic maker Novo Nordisk are to cut 9,000 jobs. What did you want to say about this?
I just wanted to say there are two things here. One, Ozempic and weight loss drugs like it. I'm actually a Mounjaro person. So I went on a Mounjaro journey. And that was one of the things I wanted to say. A few years ago, everybody said Ozempic as a default for these weight loss drugs. I think it's a really interesting thing on them being first to market and others coming in to replace them. O2 were not the first mobile phone network to market. They're now the biggest. You see what I mean? It's not always been first to market, and Ozempic were first to market. They're really struggling now. Other drugs have come onto market, like Mounjaro. Other cheaper alternatives have taken the magic sauce and created their own. So I just think it's interesting how the market is developing and how the owners are struggling. They've just cut 9,000 jobs, as you say, in Denmark. More broadly than that, I just want to say right now there are 1.5 million people in the United Kingdom. That's a conservative estimate on these drugs. I mean, that's incredible. And you know, Shay, you saw me in February when I was, I don't mind saying because I've said it before, 16 stone. You can see me now at 11 and a half. It has changed my life. Now I'm about to go through the toughest part of this journey, coming off it, and then we will see. But it's normalised. It's in our society. Again, we've just talked about one thing from science fiction, something that we can't control. Here's another thing, a wonder drug that seems to cure everything. How do we get people on it? How do we get people off it?
What's your thoughts finally,
I think
Tej,
getting
on that?
people off it is key. I've had first-hand experience of this with my father. He's been on Ozempic for 4 or 5 years now.
Okay.
And he's come off of it now, and the side effects around the loss of bone density, muscle loss, have been significant. So I think it goes back. I think it's good if you can get in it and it gives you that little extra boost, but nothing tastes as good as healthy feels. I think a healthy diet, lifting a good amount of weights, getting your cardio in, living a good life, I think ultimately, and as you said it, congratulations on that. And I think the key is it's very easy to get into something, but can you get off of it in a healthy fashion? And I think that's going to be the question now. It's
such an interesting conversation, James. You'll have to come back and share your journey as you have. You've documented it here on Radio London, and thank you for doing that, because I think you're right. When you came in earlier on in the year, it wasn't as discussed as it is now, as we're in September and more people are becoming more vocal about what their journey has been like. We have to leave it there because of time. You can share your thoughts on this as well. 0800 731 2000 is the number. Tej and James, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much. That was a great chat.
And also get home safely.
I'll walk home after
you're going to walk home.
Right. Get my cardio in.
And are you driving home?
I've got to somehow get to Eltham. I've got dinner.
Well, I'm sure you will.
Take me 3 days.
No, don't say that. I'm sure it'll be faster. Thank you again to Dr. Tej Samani and also to James Erskine. More details for both of them. So for James Erskine, it's James Erskine, ERSKINE on X and also on Blue Sky. And for Tej Samani, it's his name, TEJSAMANI on social media. You can share your thoughts as well in the next hour. Right now, though, it is 4 o'clock. Let's get the news headlines on Radio London with Nisha Patel.
On the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker,